Welcome.
Attention, please.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to the No Comfort Zone podcast. It's time to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose. Broadcasting to the world from Rockford, Illinois. This is your wake-up call.
Warning.
You are the solutions to all your problems. Stop thinking average. Become the hero version of yourself. Every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. It all matters. You've entered the No Comfort Zone. It's time for a reality check.
Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Dan, and you're definitely in the No Comfort Zone. Today, I want to talk to you about something that's been holding me back from major success for, I would say, the better part of the majority of my life. One and the same, right? And what that is, have you heard of Imposter Syndrome? It's going around a lot. That's a kind of a buzzword. And I do realize that this is the one where I didn't want to become a professional speaker because I was afraid to actually speak publicly. No kidding. I had to get over my fear of publicly speaking to really be in sales. And from there, I just went to a whole nother level with it. I never today would believe that I would be able to speak in front of a large audience and have an intimate, let's say, conversation or do a intense presentation about something that I'm passionate about and create a call to action. I never thought I'd be able to do that. It's the furthest thing from my mind, let's say 25, 30 years ago. Now I get the opportunity, and I remember I was making, this is like 20 years ago, 2000, I was making fun of or impersonating a trainer. And I did such a good job impersonating him that the people in the group, the other trainers that were there, it was a retail sales course, and I paid some pretty good money to get to it. I think it was a management course, actually. And what I ended up doing was that one point of the segment, they ended up asking, okay, so you're going to have to give a presentation on something that you learned based on the contribution from your little individual group. They took a fraction of, let's say, the sales process. They gave us the topic, and then me and the other managers, who I've never met before, we had to collaborate and come up with a new process that would be better than one person was designated to give the presentation. And everybody at this table, nobody wanted to do it. Because I was so enthusiastic just about being there, that they actually said, well, why don't you do it? And this is that part where that opportunity shows up. Because I got there and I'm in front of the camera and the audience, and everyone's going through their presentation. They're holding a clipboard, and it's really awkward. You could tell it's very forced, and these people are definitely nervous to speak in front of a bunch of people. Well, I've confronted my fear of speaking publicly. I've been in Virginia. That's where I got over it. Then I was in Hawaii, and I was learning a place I've never been before, made a whole new life for myself. So I was able to really get out of my comfort zone and become the person who was able to speak publicly because of my desire to get over the fear, my desire to become better at it. And this is just absolutely crazy because here I am now in front of all these other managers, and I'm relatively a new manager at this point, talking about a process that we just created, and I have to speak intelligently and teach the audience of managers. It was probably 60 to 90 people. I can't remember how many. And as I did it, and I had no peers there. I want to make sure you all understand that. None of my peers were there, so they didn't know me. So I just went up there and played the fool. I decided to act like the senior trainer because he was amazing. His name's Sean Garner. He was amazing. And the guys that were there, the other trainers that were there, they kind of were watching me and kind of getting ready to goof on me. I took a deep breath. I realized my shoe was untied. I tied my shoe. I popped back up. And with just an amazing amount of energy and charisma, I had decided to get into it with the audience. And I basically said, you got a question for you, but we start the presentation is who out there wants to sell more? Who wants to earn more? Who wants to sell more, earn more, and do more in less time than everybody else is doing it and have the rock star lifestyle that you're looking for because you want to be in sales? Well, if you're with me, let me take you down this journey in the process that we just created. That was a long time ago, but I said that 20 years ago, and they were rolling. The camera was watching. They were rolling. It was just so funny because I was impersonating the guy, Sean. but nobody really knew that I was impersonating him, and I totally was. I was goofing, but I was enthusiastic about what I was doing because I wasn't afraid to speak in front of an audience anymore. And I had a lot of fun with it, and I had the audience laughing, and the people at my table just kind of sat back with their mouth open going, "Who are you?" And by the time I got to the place where I worked, the dealership I worked at, the word was already out. This guy needs to be a trainer. This guy really knows what he's doing. And from there, my team, who wasn't in the training, and it's a confusing story, but ended up hearing about it and gave me a chance because of that training to become a trainer within the group. And that's where my career really took off. And I've had a great experience because of it. Now, I was being an imposter to that guy there. But one of the things that kept me back, and now then I ended up speaking all over the country in Canada. I ended up speaking in Las Vegas. I was doing seminars in Las Vegas and a few places all over the country. Worked for some great other trainers. I worked for Grant Cardone for a minute. Great experience in my life. He's a great guy, very ethical. Enjoyed working with him. Super good dude and very ethical. That's all I want to say. Very intense. And what you see is what you get. The guy's the real deal. That being said, now the imposter part of it, I've always used the process of selling something as leverage for people to get what they want. So every training class I would do, I would ask the same question: what do you want? What do you really want? Because it's not money. People want other stuff besides money. So you drill the question all the way down. And when you find out their real why, you find out the leverage of why they want to do what they want to do, then you have to teach them a process, and then they'll do it for you, and it'll be the benefit will serve everybody. It works out really well for everybody's benefit. I've met some great people along the way. I've met some extremely successful people along the way, and I've met some average people who became great. And I'm fortunate enough to be involved in their lives, and I'm fortunate enough to have trained them. And more importantly, this is it. This is the part that I want to talk about. I was there to see when they said, here's a goal that I want out of my life, and I was actually able to watch them get that goal and make that come to fruition, make that goal turn into an actual reality, something to become tangible. And there's nothing better in my life than that. Now, for the longest time, I felt I wasn't worthy enough to be that type of a speaker, trainer, motivational speaker, keynote speaker, inspirational speaker, whatever it was. Now, with all the adversity that I've been through, with all the stuff that I've earned in my life, all the bad stuff, I have a platform to talk about because I've decided to become ethical. I've decided to have better character. I've made these choices to become a better person, and I'm very vigilant about that. So what I'm telling you is this: if you feel that you're not worthy, it's not true. You are worthy. Just because I'm not Grant Cardone, I'm not Tony Robbins, I'm not Sam Crowley, I'm not these different people, but what I am is I am a perfect Dan Brzezowski. I'm a perfect Dan Brzezowski every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. That's who I am. And whoever's listening to this podcast out there, and whatever you do in your life, you are the perfect version of yourself. You might not be the version of yourself that you really want to be right now, but you are a perfect version of what you're supposed to be. And if you want more, and if you want to get more, and if you want to have more, do more, be more, if you want all that, then the best thing that I can tell you is this. I absolutely can tell you this, like the many other people that I've helped achieve their goals, have a different reality, solve problems, and have a better life. There's a method that I created that worked for me. I used my own method on myself, and it worked for me. I used the same method for other people, and it helped for them. I used the same method for organizations, and it helped for them. I've even done the same method for junior high, and it's helped them. For athletic teams, for the United States Marines, for any or all type of organization, this is something that I know for sure that when actually applied will give you all of the benefit that you could possibly imagine, and you can enjoy the process. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to launchwithdan.com. Launchwithdan.com. Do me a favor, go there, and let's get together on what your goals and what it's all about. It's time for you to show up. It's time for you to get out of life what you're willing to put into it. I call it the no comfort zone for a reason, because I do know this. I know it 100%. I know that when you get out of your comfort zone, you can live on purpose.
Say goodbye.
Want more of the No Comfort Zone? You can follow Dan on Instagram and Twitter at NoComfortZone1.
Bye.
Or on the web at thenocomfortzone.com.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the No Comfort Zone podcast.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.